All right, there we go. Looks like we are on live 427 today. Rolling right on through the year. I got some cool stuff for you guys. Usually I don't have a lot of stuff planned. I just kind of open it up and go for it. But today I actually have some cool stuff planned for you guys if we get to it. If you got questions, I'm all for that first. So if anybody's got anything you want to throw out first before we get started, I will take it and run with it. All right. So that said, some of the stuff that we're going to be hitting today is going to do with big ideas, which is our attention grabbers on the front. I think a lot of people struggle with that, myself included. It's not an easy thing. It's a simple process and it's easy to understand. It's just, as those of you know, it's very difficult to implement the actual doing it. And especially for yourself, like when it comes to me, I really struggle with doing it for myself. I can do it for others, no problem. But I'll show you a couple examples of like my lead magnets, and they just absolutely suck, for lack of a better word. But they work. And that's another thing that I want you guys to get. You don't have to be perfect to start moving forward. You don't have to be perfect to start generating leads. I'll give you a couple of perfect examples of my own stuff that is generating leads with poorly executed big ideas. So the idea that you got to get it perfect is a myth. What you need to do is you need to do something. You need to start generating leads. You need to start making presentations. If you're just getting started and you don't know how to do it, doing them one-on-one, face-to-face is perfectly fine. Sometimes that's how you learn what works. Like a good salesperson, I've always said this. If you watch a really good salesperson that's doing face-to-face, you can learn a lot just by observation with that person. What they're doing, why they're doing it, all that stuff. So anyway, we're going to go through big ideas. Again, that's our attention grabber. And then we're going to go to lead magnets, which that's where your big idea can generate leads for you, or it can take you right into a sales letter. So we'll talk about that as well. So we're going to cover those three, and those are three big pieces to this game. If you're not addressing those three pieces, you're probably stagnated. You're not moving forward. And, you know, that's not good with your business. That's good in a job if you can get away with it, but it's not good for your business. Stagnating and hiding in a corner in a job situation, if you can get away with it, all the power to you. But that doesn't work when it's for you. So let's start off. I've got one Russ sent in. Russ is on here. Yeah, there he is.
Hey, Don.
How's it going? I'm going to share the screen, and I'm going to use you for my first guinea pig.
Oh, that's wonderful. I was going to ask you if I could be a guinea pig.
You're top of my list here. And then we got Rashid up next, and I think you guys are going to learn some awesome stuff from what I got for Rashid. So stand by. Let's get Russ's up here. Let me see why I can't share my screen. There we go. All right. I had something else up in front of it. All right. So Russ has sent me this. This is basically an idea for, is this for a page or your whole website, Russ?
A new website.
Okay. So homepage.
Yep.
All right. I love the block the sun, not the fun. That's an awesome, right in your face, cool thing. But then down here, you say, don't let the sun damage your skin. With UV blocker umbrellas, you can enjoy the outdoors with peace of mind. Although this seems simple, this is a complex sentence. You're putting stuff ahead of the others and you're making them work to figure out what you're saying here. I would simplify that and I would move the benefit forward. I would say, like, enjoy the outdoors. That's your promise. That's your big thing that you're trying to get across. I would put that up front. I would kind of switch this around, something like enjoy the outdoors without letting the sun damage your skin. And then down here, instead of shop now, I'd put get your UV blocker umbrella now. So you're saying the same thing. It's just you're leading them into what you want them to do. You want them to get an umbrella, right? So you got the cool call out, and then you go right into why. Enjoy the outdoors without damaging your skin, right? Said in a very simplistic way. They're not going to have to read complex sentences and because here, whenever you start out with, it's like with this, and then, okay, what are we doing with that? You're, you know what I mean? And I know that sounds ridiculous because you're not writing an advanced thing here, but you're not using simple third grade language when you do that.
That's the whole point. I want to make it simple.
Yes. So, and I know I love to do this stuff. I love to write like what you're writing here, but for marketing, it's not the best way to do it.
Okay.
And I think we do it because I think on a subconscious level, we think it makes us sound smarter. I think that's why we do it. But in marketing, when you look at it for what it really is, you are trying to get clear, concise communication, like nail on the head, boom, bang, right now. So I would do that. And then next, you've got a question here. Why do you need UV blocker umbrellas? Okay. They may not know. You're asking a question. I would never ask a question that you weren't 100% positive they already knew the answer. So again, you're complicating things. I would just tell them why they need it here. And let's see, UV rays are harmful and they cause a range of health problems. Form sunburn, premature aging, and skin cancer. So instead of why, I would say you need a UV umbrella to prevent a whole range of health problems like sunburn, premature aging, skin cancer. So again, just nailing them on the head, telling them why they need it, not asking them why. Like when somebody's consuming your content and you make it hard for them, like asking them why, you're expecting them to know the answer and they don't. That's why they're here in most cases. It almost feels like a test, like, oh shit, I got to answer questions here. Just give me the answers.
How about UV? You need a UV blocker umbrella. Here's why.
You don't even need the here's why. Just tell them. You know what I mean?
Well, the next paragraph tells them that it protects them against.
Okay, but up here in your main thing, you could say, here's 3 of the biggest reasons you need a UV blocker umbrella. And then you could go pow, pow, pow.
Okay.
You could do that. That would be a pretty good way to attack it. Because what you're doing here, this is part of your sales presentation. You're going from grab attention to now you're educating them. So the idea here is clear, concise communication with here's what I've got, here's what it's going to do for you, here's what I want you to do next. And you might have like 3, 4, 5 things of what it's going to do for them. Now, it might not do the same thing for everybody. You might have some people that are just focused on, hey, I don't want skin cancer. You might have some that go, man, every time I go outside, I get sunburned. You might have one that's, creates migraine headaches. I don't know. But, you're hitting them all. And it's kind of like the example of that health product that we reviewed a few weeks back. They hit everybody. They went broad spectrum on that thing. And it was like, my God, if you're breathing, you need this. It was pretty crazy. But yeah, you could definitely do that. And instead of shop UV umbrellas, I would say, like, get yours now. You're creating demand and desire. So the statement of get yours now would be much more compelling than shop UV umbrellas. Right? So this is a direct call to action here.
Okay.
So,
Hey, John, on his buttons, since you can make any, would you put like a hook on the button, like find out how to get a discount or something like that, where it's something like that?
I wouldn't put that on the button. I'd put it above the button. So that would be like something that would go here, special offer, today 10% off, and then the button would be get yours now. Click. Button is always a call to action. So the call out might be a reason for the call to action. But that's a good point. Anything that you can throw in that's a kicker, like a bonus, like 2 for 1 this week only. Get yours now. That implies if you don't get it now, you're going to miss the bonus. So that would be really cool. And then the rest of the stuff, I think this is interesting the way you've got this written here. I might rethink this, because what you're showing here is you're showing X's like, oh shit, we don't have that. And these guys do. And I know that's not the intent. I know that's not the meaning, but it's the perception. So I'd rethink this and make this look heavily in your favor. And I would put you over here. They always put the good one on the right because your eye goes to the right. So what's happening here is they're going over you, even though you've got it in white. I know you're doing a lot of the right things here, but I would just move that to the right. I'd shift your column to the right, and I would make you be check boxes all the way. So just reverse the questions if you need to. Okay, trust in the experts. So you got trust factor, that stuff. You got reviews. That's good. Don't let the sun damage your skin. Now here you got just the price on the button. Usually you won't reveal the price until you are totally sold on the item. So that might be a deterrent. I don't think your price really is going to be an issue though, Russ. I don't see, you're in the ballpark of that wouldn't be an issue if somebody was looking for a UV blocker umbrella. I would venture to say they'd probably pay twice what you're charging just because of the benefits. Because somebody that's concerned about skin cancer, they're not going to quibble about the price. They're going to want the best thing. They're going to want to make sure that if they spend $1, they're spending it in the right place. And the size of the dollar bill doesn't matter to them. Okay, risk-free, risk reversal. That's awesome. So I think this looks really good. This is really a solid design, solid layout. Just a little bit of communication here and you'll have this thing dialed in.
Okay, sounds good. I get a B+.
Oh, I'm thinking you're probably in the A- range, actually.
A-.
I mean,
Nice.
this is minor stuff.
Yeah.
This is little stuff.
Well, you're good with the words. That's why I figured I'd run it by you. You're better at the words than I am.
Yeah. There's no big thing. Like if this went live right as is, it would probably work fine. It really would. It would probably work just fine. I just want you to, if you're going to carry a sword, let's sharpen it.
Yeah, sure.
So that's awesome. All right. So any questions about this before we move on?
Thank you, John.
All right. Awesome. So let's go to Rashid. So now Rashid is doing a thing where he's teaching people how to become an entrepreneur with a business in a box scenario where he'll teach you how to twist balloons, which is kind of a cool concept. Like for somebody, there's a lot of people out there that hate their day job. They desperately want out of it. They don't have anything top of mind as far as a skill set for like, what could they do? If they did, they'd probably be trying it. But a lot of times what I see anyway, of people that have worked in a day job for a long time, they're physically and mentally beaten. They're just mentally beaten to a pulp, or they're not creative. They've had the creative juice sucked right out of them. And I know this was for me, even as an entrepreneur. When I was a photographer, I was paid by the hour, and I was paid really well. I made great money, and I did not work a lot of hours because of that. But the idea that I had to work to get paid was not mentally stimulating. And it wasn't until I got to the point where I had money coming in, and that didn't happen in that job, because that job, as much as I thought it was awesome and great, and I thought this is the best way I could possibly think to make a living, I just didn't know better. I didn't know about recurring income. I didn't know about, residual income, money for nothing. I wasn't there yet. But once I was, it really, I can't tell you how much it shifted my ability to be creative. And I'm not talking about like art creative. That's Allie's thing. I'm talking about like creative between the ears. Like, how can I get more of what I want? That really did it for me. So the idea of being in a day job, I can't even imagine the stress and just the mental pounding every day of thinking this is all there is. So there's a lot of people that if you were to show them, hey, you can do this, I was just like you, I did this, they're going to gravitate to it like flies to shit, for lack of a better word. So our avatar is just that. It's somebody in the day job. I did a call out here. This is called an eyebrow or a call out. You can usually put this before a big idea. And this is like, so they know it's for them. So I came up with, if you are overworked, underpaid, or unappreciated. So you could be any one of those three things in your job, then this is for you. So if they're thinking, oh, well, no, I'm not overworked and I'm paid well and everybody appreciates me, they're going to say, well, this is not for me, and they're going to move on. And they would be right in doing that, because this would be a waste of their time. But if they are feeling overworked, underpaid, and unappreciated, like about 99.9% of people in a job would feel, then they're going to say, I'm going to look at this. So that's what that is. You'll see this a lot on the top of an ad, on the top of a sales page. The technical term is either eyebrow or call out. And that's what they do it for. It's like, this is for you if. Yeah. I asked Rashid, I told him, I said, I'm really good at this big idea thing. So send me kind of what your idea is. Send me the promise. Send me the unique delivery mechanism, and I'll see what I can come up with. So this is what he sent me. Twist and shout. Tell your jerk of a boss where to stick it. And a quick setup business in a box that was featured on the Shark Tank lets you earn full-time income in a fraction of the time. Thousands across America are doing it. Now, when I looked at this, I actually took a look at the Shark Tank article. Let me see here, control click, I'll pull it up. I caught something in there of distractions. I had never even thought of this. Like, this is the reason that a balloon guy in a restaurant is so important, because the kids, and again, this comes from research. Like, you can't just make up big ideas that are effective out of your head. You need to get intel from the market to do this effectively. So by him sending this article to me, I'm like, wow, that's why somebody could be so successful at this. Because if you're at a restaurant, you all know what happens to the kids. They get a little antsy and they need a distraction. What better distraction than a balloon guy? I mean, how much tips would you give the balloon guy to solve a major problem? It's not just your kids are causing, havoc at your table. They could be embarrassing you in front of the whole restaurant. And for a few bucks, you could have somebody like Rashid take their mind completely off going crazy and have them focus on something that is just mesmerizing to them. So distractions. I didn't even think of that until I saw this. So back to here, I put, you could be a master distractor. And I'm thinking, I'm kind of rolling all this stuff around in my head of what he's given me, what I just saw. And I kind of came up with this master distractor. So here is where I went into taking that, putting it into a big idea. Earn a full-time income working part-time hours. New business in a box featured on Shark Tank allows average Americans to experience the good life. Overworked and underpaid Americans everywhere are doing the twist and shout as they tell their bosses where to stick it. So that was my first crack at it. And then I kind of went back with the master distractor thing and I did another one. This is a completely different big idea, and you can have hundreds of big ideas selling the same thing. Different big ideas will attract different people. So I took another crack at it. I said, turn a childhood fantasy into a full-time income working part-time hours. Discover a secret society of master distractors that anyone can join and experience the good life. Once you master the twist and shout distractor, you'll want to tell your boss where to stick it. So I don't know which one you like better, which one you think is better. You might test both, use this as a base to come up with more, but that's how I kind of put these into. You're looking for like something that sounds like it's out of a movie trailer when you're creating a big idea, but they all have three pieces to them. A solid big idea will have a promise where we're promising income. We're promising replace your day job here, whether we're saying it or not. We're indirectly promising get out of your day job, tell your boss to stick it, right? That's the promise. The unique delivery mechanism here is by becoming a master distractor. They don't know what that is. This is very interesting and very compelling. We've given clues to what it is, but guess what? If they want to know, they're going to have to opt in. So this could be an incredible lead magnet for you to generate leads. And then once you generate the leads, then you take them into education. Like, here's what this thing really is. Here's how easy it is to do. Let me show you what you have to do to make this happen. Let me show you the pitfalls. And by the way, if you want help, I can help you. I have a program. And by that time, they're going to just want to buy the program because you've demonstrated your ability to lead them to where they want to go. And that's the biggest thing with your presentation. That's how you create demand and desire, by showing people that you know the way, you've been where they are, and now you're where you are, and that's where they want to be. And who better to lead them than somebody that's already blazed the trail? So that's what you want to do in your presentation when you're crafting your PowerPoint, or you're doing your video, or you're putting your sales letter together like Russ did. You're putting those in the right order. You're taking them through all the stuff they need to know. And then at the end, you're offering to help. In Russ's case, he's offering to give him an umbrella that'll solve the problem. In Rashid's case, he's offering a program that, hey, you know, I've laid this out step by step. All you need to do is buy the program and bada bing, bada bang, bada boom. You're there. The magic happens. So that's the big idea process. And this is the part that, you know, is really difficult for people to take those three pieces and put them into this format like what I did here. This is the stuff I'm really good at for everybody else, but I suck at it for myself. And I'll show you a couple of examples of me sucking at it for myself.
Yeah, that balloon distraction was actually the name of the company.
Balloon distractions, yeah.
Yeah,
But I took that and I said you could become a master distractor,
right.
which sounds it sounds magical, like a magician.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, and then you attach it to the secret society and you're really creating something that's compelling there. You're going to get people leaning in going, what is that? What secret society? Obviously it's secret. I don't know about it.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not so secret once you know it.
Yeah. And nowhere in there, never, ever did I say what it was. Never did I say this is a balloon twisting business.
No.
You keep the intrigue. That's the thing about the big idea. You've got to keep the intrigue to get them to move forward. You got to get them to lean forward. You got to get them to say, holy shit, that's awesome. How do I learn more? And you do it with intrigue. It's like curiosity is what killed the cat or the mouse or whatever got into the trap, but they didn't get in there without being curious. If you want to kill sales, you have to get them curious. So here is an idea that you guys all probably recognize this. It's basically the video that I did for you guys about that health product, that supplement. We went through it on the call. I broke it down piece by piece, showed you what all the marketing pieces were, how they all worked together, why it worked so well. And then after it was over, I thought, wow, this would be a great lead magnet for somebody that wants to know how to put together an ad. So I put it on here. This is a Kartra page. It says marketing review and breakdown. This again, this, as far as a big idea, this pretty well sucks eggs. If I sat down and like said, okay, let me come up with a real big idea here, I could probably get a lot more leads out of this. But here's the thing, even though it sucks, it's still generating leads for me. So that the whole point to this, to me showing you this, is you don't have to get it perfect, but you have to do something for it to start working. You can always make it better. But again, this is Kartra. You know, this, when they click on it, it opens up a Kartra box to opt in. Put your name in here, your email. I shouldn't say sign up. Again, that's just me purely sucking. And it still works, right? I'm always trying to help you guys sharpen your sword. Mine is dull as shits. But I've got so many of them that they work. And
you're a big guy, you can hack away with a dull sword and still do a lot of damage, bro.
Oh yeah, I go in head high in the weeds and start swinging.
You know what?
No jungle is safe with you.
But I just want you guys to recognize that you don't have to be perfect. You just have to do something. That's what it's all about. So anyway, here we go. I clipped the part of the video out. I took the session that we did. I cut just that piece out. Jay was kind enough to do the notes. So I put here a button where you could download the notes. So now they've got the notes and they can just click here to watch the video. Here's where I didn't suck. I put my cool little trailer in there, so everybody knows, you know, where this is coming from. But that's just the video that I was on my boat when I did it, and we went through it. And this thing is generating leads, right? People are seeing it. And what do you think happens when they watch me tear apart an ad and show how it all works? Who do you think they would trust to help them with their ad? And then I can offer them the course. I can offer them the ACT program. I can say, you know, everything you ever wanted to know about advertising, I can show you based on how the ad agencies do it. And I can lead them through my sales funnel. But here is something I just give away for free just to help them, right? Here's another one, the AI marketing book. Some of you guys got this a long time ago. I actually did this book in 2018, right? Think about that. 2018, that was 5 years ago. I was talking about AI. 5 years ago, I was sharing the resources of where to get this stuff. Today, it's everywhere, and it's everywhere just from the last probably 4 or 5 months. November, with the introduction of ChatGPT, this industry, this market has exploded. And I was doing it in 2018. There's a lot of tools that were around in 2018 that are now getting used because of ChatGPT and the awareness. This was a market that was just unaware. But here's the thing, from 2018 to now, I've been talking about stuff that I've been doing with AI. People are intrigued. And I say, if you'd like to learn more, I've got a book on it you can download. So they come here, they download the book, and now they're in my list. I've got them listed in my list. I've got them tagged rather in my database. So one thing I know is they're interested in marketing automation. So what could I sell somebody that showed an interest in marketing automation? I could potentially introduce them to the ACT program. I could potentially introduce them to Kartra. I could potentially introduce them to the automation training that I've got based around Kartra, the thing that I call the funnel camp, which is a 2-day seminar. It was recorded, you know, several years ago. Nothing about it has changed, so I keep selling it. But it's a 2-day workshop that I did on showing somebody how to do marketing automation using Kartra. I could sell them that, or I could just give it to them knowing that they're probably going to buy the Kartra and I get the affiliate commission. Kartra is $99 a month. It's the most incredible marketing automation program that I know of. It's simple, easy, and it's made for the small businesses, right? It's made for most of the people I talk to, and I get $40 a month for referring it. So somebody gets onto Kartra, they're going to be on it forever. As soon as somebody goes through the training and they start using Kartra and they start generating leads and they start following up with them and they start selling people and putting them into membership sites, they're never going to leave that because it makes sense for their business. It automates their business and it gives them more time and allows them to make more money. Who in their right mind would give that up? So forever, I'm going to make $40 a month on every person that I help automate their business. And this is a first step. This is generating a lead for somebody that wants marketing automation. They're focused on AI. So all I'm doing is I'm meeting them where they are. They're interested in AI. Great. I have a great AI book I can give you. It'll answer a lot of questions for you. It'll help you do a lot of stuff with AI. It'll also help you stay out of trouble as well. I show some really cool stuff. I've updated this book. Like in 2018, there was a ton of stuff that wasn't available yet. So just in the last month or so, I've made an update to this book and added a whole bunch of new stuff to it. Really cool stuff. A lot of it has affiliate links to it. So anybody that's downloading this book, even if they never buy anything from me, they might pick up this book and they might order one of the products in there, and I'll get paid from that. So again, you've got to generate leads. Leads is the forward part of your pipeline. If you don't start putting people into your pipeline, you won't make sales on the other end. That's why they call it a funnel. You have to drop a lot of people in the top of the funnel. Those are your leads. And then you let your marketing automation nurture them on the way down through the funnel. And ideally, the customers, your ideal customers, will drop out the bottom of the funnel. And ideally, you'll give them a great user experience. You'll provide massive value, and you'll keep them forever. You can even provide other things, other referrals to them. Affiliate commissions could be coming out your ears if you do that right. Because everybody, I don't care what you do, I don't care what you sell, I don't care how sophisticated you are, anybody that's interested in what you do, that's the tip of the iceberg. They're going to be interested in a lot of other things throughout their life. And all you have to do is figure out what those things are and be the conduit to introduce them to it. And you can make a massive amount of money with stuff you don't even do, you don't even specialize in, you might know nothing about, other than the fact that this person's going to want that. There's a tremendous amount of money in marketing in connecting the dots for people. You know, I use the example of the maternity dress. You know, that's an 18-year funnel. The expectant mother is going into a strange new world. She's scared. She doesn't know anything about it. There's a lot of alligators in that swamp. There's a lot of pitfalls. There's a lot of joy and happiness that is maybe seems like it's just out of reach because she doesn't know how to get it. So if you be her Sherpa that takes her through that journey, who do you think she's going to look to when she needs something? And she shouldn't, if you're good, she shouldn't even have to look for it. You should know what she needs before she needs it every step of the way. And you should be right there, shining the light on every step of the road in front of her. You can make an absolute fortune long-term that way. And the cool part is you figure that out. You set that up once, and then you create things like this that will drop people into the front of the funnel, and you've got them for life. You can make a lot of money doing this. It is a thinking person's game. Business is a thinking person's game. This is why most people start a business. They'll start a small business. They don't think this way. All they're focused on is the thing at hand. They're like, maybe I know how to do this thing. I'll start a business around it. And that's the end of their show. They're not thinking about how much more value they could get out of each one of those customers. And, you know, that's where the money is. The money isn't really in the front end sales. The money's in the back end sales. I know so many entrepreneurs and so many business owners that they make a great thing or they provide a great service, but that's all they do. They don't think about what's next. They just stop. And in a lot of cases, it's a one sale type of deal. Like, think about the maternity dress. How dismal of a business would that be to have a customer that only needed you for a couple of months and then you had to hunt for a new one? That would suck. You would have, it would be like being in a rat wheel. It wouldn't be much better than having a job, you know, because you're constantly having to churn and burn to make a buck. That's very similar to a job. So there's a big difference between what I call a business and, you know, and like I said, I wasn't always like this. I didn't just drop out of the womb here where I am. This took a lifetime to get me where I am. And I'm trying to help you guys shortcut that and get there a lot faster. But, you know, so many times we'll open a business and really all we've done is we've just created a new job for ourselves. That happens more times than you can imagine. So there's a really famous saying that you should be working on your business and not in your business. You know, like McDonald's, Ray Kroc, you know, he worked in the business for a fraction of a second compared to that whole business. A fraction of a second, he worked in the business to figure out the systems. And then he systematized it. And then he stepped out and he started working on the business. How do I make it better? How do I get people a recipe to follow so I don't have to flip burgers? Yet my customer, I want the customer to get the exact same experience, whether they order this burger in Los Angeles or Hong Kong. How do I create the systems to make that happen? He was working on the business, not in the business. So, and look at the outcome. What happens when you step out of the business and you work on it, not in it? If you're working in it, it's a job. You know, that's a job. So anyway, I think I've beat that horse to death. Anyway, Rashid, did you have questions about the big idea thing here? Or?
Yeah, I like the first one better, personally.
Yeah.
It's you know, and then
Yeah,
putting the
this one goes right in. I mean, it goes right in.
Right.
Kill, earn full-time income, working part-time hours.
right, and maybe we can lead that in with the eyebrow, the call out.
Yep. Yeah, I just thought about that. I just added this morning. I was like, this thing doesn't have a call out. So I'm like, what would I do for a call out? So I put that up here.
Yeah, that's good eye catcher.
But yeah, that could easily be added to the top right here.
Right. And it identifies the right people right there.
Mhm.
So
So here's the promise. That's the promise. The new business in a box, that's the unique delivery mechanism.
right.
That's the thing that's going to deliver that promise. We haven't said what it is yet. So we're keeping it kind of secretive. We're saying, you know, we're putting authority to it that this thing was featured on Shark Tank, and you know, it allows average Americans to experience the good life. So we're keeping the intrigue really, really high.
Right.
And then we're making another statement to back it all up. Overworked and underpaid Americans, which is what we referenced up above in the eyebrow.
Right.
Everywhere are doing the twist and shout. Now you're going, what the hell is that? As they tell their bosses where to stick it. So twist and shout kind of goes up here into this new business in a box, and they still have no idea what it is. So it's got a real high level of being compelling. Curiosity factor is going to be pretty high on this one.
Yes. Absolutely.
So, all right. Okay. So any other questions about the big idea, the lead magnets, stuff like that?
No. Well, is this considered a lead magnet, or
This is a piece of a lead magnet. This is a big idea. So when you take a big idea, you take a big idea and you attach it to a call to action, then it becomes a lead magnet.
Okay.
Like you say, download our free report or download the outline of this new business in a box, and they click to get something, then it's a lead generator.
Okay. So what should we offer as a lead magnet?
So the lead magnet it should be something directly tied to this. Like it could be just as simple as, you know, watch a 5-minute video where we reveal this new business in a box we're calling the twist and shout. It could be just that simple.
Okay.
Or even a
then-
short video. Because people are so impatient. 5 minutes might seem like an eternity.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you could say 3 minute or 2 minute or 30-second even. The shorter, the better, because people are impatient. That's a
Yeah.
good point.
Yeah, we could just call it a short video rather than 2 minutes, 3 minutes.
Yeah. And in there, what that is the only purpose of this is just to generate a lead. Like, I learned this from Eric Laughlin, who he's a sales trainer. And he teaches people how to be salesmen. I went through his course not because I wanted to be a salesperson, because I never wanted to be a salesperson, but I wanted to understand the mechanics of it. So I could understand it, I could automate it, I could use it, I could leverage it. And the one thing that he said, he says sales is a process. And it starts with, again, grabbing attention. And he said the purpose of generating a lead is just that. It's to generate a lead. It is not to unload on somebody and give them a sales presentation. And I see people that screw this up all day long in networking events.
Mhm.
He points this out. He said, if you are in a networking event, your only job there is to sift through the pile of people to find out who's interested. You are not there to pitch anybody anything. He said the purpose of generating a lead is to generate a lead. Then you follow up. The purpose of the follow-up is to set an appointment. The purpose of the appointment is to deliver a presentation. The purpose of the presentation is to create demand and desire. The purpose of that is to make an offer that will be accepted. So again, it's a process, and it's very, very similar and close to the ACT program. It's just,
Can you repeat that again?
it's just, this is what a salesperson does. So the purpose of generating a lead is just that, to generate the lead, right? The next thing is to set an appointment. The purpose of setting the appointment is to get in front of them one-on-one, isolated. You've separated them from the herd so you can get them delivered a presentation that's uninterrupted and in an environment that's controlled. Like, if you're trying to give them a presentation in a networking event, and it's like being in the middle of a circus. They're going to have all kind of distraction, and you need to get them out of there. It's like why you don't do presentations in Facebook. It's a circus. Why would you want to do your presentation there? Get them the hell off of there. Get them into your own backyard. You control the environment. You control the steps. It's just the way it is. So again, the purpose of the presentation is so you can create demand and desire. You do that by presenting the value, educating them on why you're the best solution for them, showing them how what they want is achievable and you know how to get it, or you've got the thing that will deliver it. And then you're basically making an offer. The offer is for them to be able to get what they want now that they're convinced this is the right thing to do that. And it's almost exactly on par with the whole entire ACT program. This is the way it's been done in the ad world forever, all the way back to the Benjamin Franklin days. None of this stuff has really changed. The delivery mechanism has changed. That's about it. The messaging has not changed. The way that you communicate really hasn't changed. The psychology hasn't changed. You know, our wants and needs and desires as human beings hasn't really changed. It's just the delivery mechanisms. So Shelley, you had a question?
Will these notes be available in on your online to go and get them? Because I missed the first 20 minutes or so today.
Oh, the whole thing is being recorded.
Okay, so, okay, okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Then I have a question that's not really related to this, but before I lose track of it, I
Sure.
wanted to talk about, referrals.
Okay.
So I know you're an expert in stuff like this. So I did do a little bit of research this morning, and it was, I really didn't get, there's nothing written in stone on referrals. And I wanted to get the difference between a referral that would be a product as opposed to a service. Is there a rule of thumb that I should follow?
Well, for referrals, I can tell you the best time to ask for a referral. And that is once you've delivered something and somebody is made happy. Like there's no better time. If you're not
Right.
asking right then, you're wasting a massive opportunity.
Okay, so what about a paid referral? So I'm getting ready to teach courses at the local gym, and it's a new gym, and we're kind of combining, supporting one another. And I want to give her referrals to clients that she has that might take my 12-week program.
Okay.
And then I'm going to refer, of course, new clients to her for her gym.
Gotcha. So it's like an affiliate relationship.
Yeah, well, it's a newbie.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Some people aren't familiar with the word affiliate. They don't, they're just, it's foreign to them.
Right.
So that conversation, all you need to do is you just need to clearly communicate the fact that you have a program that when people send you customers, they get paid a referral commission.
Right.
Now you can do it as a one-time referral commission, or you can do it as an ongoing. Like if you're doing a service and they're paying you monthly, this is something that I've seen really perks up eyeballs. When I say, I have an ongoing service, and when people send me referrals, they get paid forever. And their eyes just like, how do I get paid forever? It's almost like they feel a little left out. They're like, how do I get in on that? It's like you got this secret thing that they want. So by presenting it in that way, and it's the same thing, what you're doing is you're doing a sale here.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you're asking for something in return, you look at it as a sale, even though you're not, it's not, they're not paying you for something. They're going to actually get paid. But for you to get them to take the action, you're going to have to sell the idea. So you look at the benefits. The benefits is they could get paid forever. The benefits is they could leverage things that they have in their world right now that are currently not being monetized. It's a way for them to make extra income just by simply referring you. Or
Sure.
you can also, a lot of people want to, I've heard it referred to as make a difference. It's a lot of people, especially women, they're very in tune with making a difference, like the purpose in life. So if you're talking to that kind of a person, you might say, you could make a real difference for people in your life by referring them to me because I could help them. And you would be part of that conduit of delivering that help to those people that need it.
Right.
Now you're positioning it as you're making a difference. And the cherry on top is, and I also pay sales commissions because I want to incentivize people so I could help more people. So you're really
Yes.
tying into that whole thing. It's just like anything else. You have to understand who you're talking to and
Okay.
what makes them tick.
Right. Okay, so is there a percentage that's set in stone? I mean, obviously not, but is there a
There's-
rule of thumb?
There really is not. I can tell you the way you've got to do it what makes sense, right?
Mhm.
Like let's say you're selling a product and there's only 10% profit in the product. Obviously, you can't give them a 10% sales commission or you'll have no profit.
Right.
Right. So in that case, it might be a 1% sales commission. If you're selling a service that involves your time to deliver, you can, you obviously need most of the profit to come home if that's the case. So you might do 5 or 10% in that case. If you're selling a digital product, like a digital download or a digital membership or something that there's really no labor involved, it's pure 100% profit, you could give them 50%. You could even give them more. Like the way I do it, I really like to incentivize my affiliates. I have a software product for SEO that we sell, and it's a monthly service. So what I'll do is I package it in a way that when you buy it, I put a retail price on the front end of it as $4.97, right? I never really wanted to sell it for $4.97 a month, but I put the first month as $4.97. And I packaged the offer as, okay, this is a $4.97 thing, but I'm going to give it to you at $1.97 a month. But here's the thing. I have to do the $4.97 on the first month because there's a setup, there's an initiation, and I've got affiliates involved and all this stuff. But as a perk, as a bonus for you, I'm going to give you 3 months service for free. So they're paying the $4.97 on the front end. Then they get 2 months behind the first month for free. And then from there on, they're going to pay the $197 a month. And I tell the affiliates, I say, I'm going to give you 75% on the front end. So I put the big chunk on the front. I'm going to give the lion's share to the affiliate because I know my money is going to come on the back end. I don't care about the front end. So the affiliate's looking at that as, wow, I'm going to get 75% of $500 for sending you customers. Hell yeah, all day long. And then I give them 25% on the back end. Whereas normally I would have done 50-50, but I'm giving them the 75 up front, which I know really drives them. They're greedy, right? And I'm going to play to that. So I'm going to take advantage of them and let them feel like they're taking advantage of me.
Mm-hmm.
It's really me that's getting the advantage of this.
Yeah.
Because they're flushing me with customers. I make a little bit on the front, but I'm going to make 75% on the back forever. And how many things am I going to introduce that person to along my pipeline?
Okay.
Right? Customers are absolutely gold to me.
Yeah. Well, so my stuff is going to you in a few days. So where on our websites would we even put affiliates? Would we put affiliates in a tab on the front page, or would it be at the bottom? Or once you get,
typically you'll put it in the footer links in the bottom of your page.
Okay.
That's where it's typically put.
Okay.
When you just said that, you just smacked me on the forehead and made me feel really dumb. Why don't I put it in the header? Since it's so important to me, like, right? Why would I not put it in the header?
John, I'm going to make a recommendation to you here today to put it in the header from here on in.
See, there it goes. I am a true believer that not a day will go by when you don't learn something.
Always.
And you can learn from everyone. There's no one you can't learn from. Right. So no, thank you. It's like, God, that really made me feel dumb there for a minute.
It's okay. You're not dumb.
In your header, John, just because your offers are so good.
Yeah.
It's good. I love to be made to feel dumb because it's only going to happen once. Right.
Okay.
I feel there's a finite things that are going to make me feel dumb, and I want to experience all of them.
So with the affiliate program, with my course, which is a course I've taught for decades, and so putting it, I will be doing it live as the instructor, but I also want to put it online to be available online. It has to be torqued around a little bit because some things can be taught live and some things can't be taught online.
Sure.
And so, yeah, so it's not going to be the same price for both programs. What do you think about that? It's similar content, but it's delivery is a little bit different. It's available anytime when anybody wants to study or take the course, as opposed to showing up somewhere.
No, I think
With the-
you can literally take the exact same thing and put different prices on.
Yeah,
And a lot of people will do that. That happens in repackaging all the time.
so in your eyes, would you see that an online course and the same content being offered live, which one would, the one that's live would be more money, right? Because I'm
Correct.
actually using my time.
Correct. Yeah.
And the
Live,
other one is the money you make when you sleep.
that's correct. Yeah. The
Yeah.
live is always going to be more. There's a higher perceived value to it. So
Oh,
you
yes,
you can get away with charging a lot more for a live event,
yeah, okay,
for sure.
thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Anything else before I hop on to my next one I want to share with you guys? I just came up with all kinds of cool stuff this week. Oh, before we do that, Allie is doing an event, a women's event, and I want her to put her link in the chat here. She's got a thing.
I did. Thank you, John. I said that you gave me permission, so I shared it, and you guys can all copy it and share it with your female friends, your wives, your daughters. It's going to be great. And it started on Sunday. It's 9 straight days. It's a typical, well, it's not a typical summit because it's like a soulful conversation. So you get access to all the conversations for life. And I'm day 9. I'm the last one. And I'm kind of talking about part 2 of life. And, everybody always says to me, some people say I'm going to be going into retirement. And I always say, I would joke and say, don't retire, go be re-inspired. And so I'm working on my own things. Like John said, I'm the worst at me, but I'm great at helping everybody else. But anyway, I focus the talk around just being re-inspired after a major shift in life. So it could be, going from single to being married. It could be being married to going and becoming a mother, because it's for women. It's so major shifts in life. And because there's a whole way, ebb and flow to life. And when we make major shifts, can get stuck in places. So it's all about being re-inspired and igniting your creativity. Like John said, creativity is different for everybody, but we all are we are creative beings. So that's what my talk is about. And then my gift is a webinar, and John helped me with all this. So I send big love to you, John. Yeah, because he's the brains. Oh my gosh. So I created a webinar on basically how to attract what you want rather than reach for it, grab for it, become the field of attraction. So so all you gals, I welcome you to enroll. It's really easy. It's just your name and your email, and you'll get all the links. And the ladies are from all over the world that are in the Aligned and Embodied seminar. So it's very, each person will relate to some conversation. And so you could click on it. And all you guys, if you have a gal you love, you could copy the link or sign her up and she'll get those emails. So there's folks from Australia and the Netherlands and obviously the US, all over. So it's fun to get a different worldview as well. So I don't think it's not a lot of selling and big things like that. Of course, I think it's honestly, John, I think it's like a lead generator to just welcome people into each person's world.
That's
exactly
why
not
they
a
do
lot of
those.
selling. I'm sorry.
That's exactly why they do those. Like, there's a lot of people that put on summits just for that purpose, because like for you to put this thing on yourself, it'd be overwhelming.
Yeah.
So they have people, coordinators that will put summits on, and they'll put free giveaways and stuff like that. And I actually have been doing one for the last probably year and a half. And it's one of the places where I've given out probably the most of the AI books. I've got like 3 different lead magnets that I have that I put in this giveaway. They do it every month. And I think it cost me like $60 because I didn't want to really be involved. I didn't want to be a speaker. I just wanted the free giveaways. So for $60, they allow me to be part of like their library of giveaways. And I've got 3 things that I give away in there. It's the AI book. It's the list of 50 things to make your website convert more, and something else. I don't even remember what the third. Oh, that's the marketing automation. How to create automated marketing funnels. So I've got those 3 things. They generate leads every month. It cost me $60, but they have a complete summit around this, like what Allie is participating in, where they have the speakers. And the only thing that usually that you have to do is you have to promote to everyone you know the event. And that way your leads become their leads and their leads become your leads. But you have to really work it to generate those leads. Because just because there's, 10,000 people going to come to the summit doesn't mean they're all going to opt into your thing. So that's where big idea is really, really important. If you can grab their attention and make it super intriguing, you'll get a lot more people to sign up. And I know if I would have just taken, an hour of my time and made better big ideas for my stuff, I'd probably have 3 times the amount of leads I have. But you guys know how lazy I am. And for $60 to generate free leads, that's good enough for me.
Well, I'll tell you, we're not pros. So like Roger said, he clicked on the link and he signed up and it was intimidating. It's really only 1 conversation a day and they're between a half an hour and an hour. So we're all learning. We're this small group of people, all of us gals. So any feedback, that's why I'm welcoming feedback so I could learn and share with our little community and do better. And so thank you, everybody. And thanks, Roger. That was, I'm learning a ton because it's just all new. And Emma and Mia, who put the back end of the summit together, did their best, but I could have helped them a lot more, but we've been very busy here helping.
Well, definitely hats off to you, Allie, just for doing something.
I know it was such a learning curve about overcoming fear, John.
Yeah, you gotta. That's what I was saying earlier. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to even get it right. You just have to do something because you'll learn from everything. Your sword will keep getting sharper, and before you know it, you'll be in my shoes, and you can just do anything, and it'll all work.
Oh my gosh. Well, I really thank you, John, because John really helped me overcome the fear and he helped me figure out the easiest way to make the offer, which was, like he said, Allie, make a webinar on Zoom this way. That's my funnel, or John, what did you say? It's like an instant landing page. And, because I'm working on all the other parts. So, and I love, John always tells us, it's a great, he's so smart, you guys, to, like I'm putting out the offer, and even if 1 person enrolls, well, I'll do it. But if nobody enrolls, then I didn't waste all that energy and money to create the whole funnel. So I'm taking deep breaths and going for it. And I did really well on the live interview, which was 2 Sundays ago. So anyway, the conversations, I'm gonna say will be rich. Mine was, I even included a meditation process. So it was fun because they put me on the spot. They were like, well, what process can you do, Allie? And I was like, oh, well, let me, like my brain was just like, okay, so I have this, I've taught before, and I did this deep meditation with them about releasing programs It's a mother meditation and I just did the mother, but there's a mother and a father meditation. So anyway, it gave him a little, and that's right in the conversation on day 9. So um,
That's cool stuff. Well, you're getting a lot of love in the chat. You might want to check that
oh,
out. People
oh,
are digging it. So
thank you.
let
Thank
me,
you.
yeah, let me move to Ahmed. Ahmed, what do you got
Yes,
going there?
and thank you, John, for mentioning it. I really appreciate your loving support. You're
Oh,
so
you're very, very welcome.
thank you.
First, I want to say thank you again for being really a chest of treasure for all of us. Really, I've been around this area quite a few years, and you seem to really bring in just straight to the sharp edge of cutting through all the BS straight to the meat of it. And regarding the summit, if I may offer one thing to Ali, at least your session will be recorded, so you could utilize that in the future as a recorder instead of having to repeat the presentation unless the presentation was not good. And their way you could create more lead magnets in the future from that.
Thank you, Ahmed. Yes, that's very wise.
So, and I think they need a real estate investing for women. I don't think there's one male, presenter there. I will volunteer to be one if they will take one that can promote real estate investing for women specifically, which is my niche. That I love to be able to help. I know everything is set in motion, but for the future.
All right, thank you. I will let Emma know. We
And
actually.
John, go
Yeah.
ahead, Ali.
Thank you. I'll and yeah. I think we're in the beginning of developing it all out. So that's why I appreciate everybody's feedback because it's all learning for me. And like John said, it really encouraged me to just, have the courage to do it. So that's what I did. So it's not perfect, you guys. It's not
That's
perfect.
all right. In the past, I've participated in what's called I Lead Women Boss, Lady Boss. I think the title of the conference was designed especially for women, but some of the speakers were men because we all have masculine and feminine in us.
Yes.
And I very much my niche and my objective was I wanted to always increase the participation of women in real estate investing. There's only just now we're getting up to the 20% of all real estate investors in the US are women, where for the longest time we're barely covering 7-8%. Just within the last probably 7-8 years that we're starting to get to the 20% number. And that's pathetic. So that's my point on that. And John?
If you put in your information in the chat, I can take notes and keep in touch with you.
Sure.
Thank
Go
you.
to Ahmed360.com. Now, John, I wanted to say also, always when you're a coach, you miss things. That's why where you in the fog is very foggy. So you can never see the trees from the forest type thing.
Yeah.
So that's why always coaches need coaches, even though we're good at helping other people, but we always need help ourselves. So
I honestly think my thing is I'm just too damn lazy.
well, but realistically speaking, honestly, what you said is true. I have a hard time, for example, designing website pages. Thanks to you, you come up with a concept, let's say, based on our experience together. And then all of a sudden, my floodgates opens up. But to come up with what it should look like and this and that, that's not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
That's not my strength. And all of a sudden, I can pour into it afterwards, but the initial part I was not good at.
Yeah.
And so that's why you have people who are really good at what they do help us, each one of us. I mean, including myself, I have other people helping as well to help us get to where we need to be. But it's always difficult and challenging. And I don't want to say difficult, it's always challenging for us to see what exactly we want when we want it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where the
So
team comes in.
correct. The I wanted to say thank you for the help with the website and all that personally.
Yeah,
That's it.
oh, absolutely. That's what we're here for. So, oh, another thing too.
One more thing.
Oh yeah, sure. Go ahead.
On that thought, as a matter of fact, if I may offer something that is not my idea in the first place, I'm sharing from another group I'm in, that they create what's called accountability group.
Mhm.
Because of that, I mean, there's a nice, really assorted, diverse population of all kind of entrepreneurs and ideas and thoughtful people in this group. So that maybe every 2-3 people kind of get together and create what do you want to call it? The accountability group among stuff, like, we get together once a week for
Yeah.
maybe an hour and say, hey, what are you working on? What are you working on? I need feedback, etc. And that helps, instead of putting all the stress on you alone.
Mhm. Yeah, no, actually there's a couple of different groups within the group. Like Helene has a group she runs every Friday morning. And it's a small group of people to do just that, be accountable, help work through and put their marketing and brainstorm ideas. And that's a great idea because alone, we're just that, we're alone. I know I do really great stuff when I've got someone else to bounce ideas off of and brainstorm and it's just like up and up and up and up and up. It just keeps going up. Whereas when you're with yourself, it's just kind of like you're just staying on the same plane. And even with, this is something I get sometimes really creative in the middle of the night when everybody's sleeping. And I have found recently that Chat GPT is a fantastic brainstorming partner. And, it's not necessarily accountability coach, but a lot of times what you'll get from that accountability group is the opportunity to brainstorm. So it's just a really good resource for that. But yeah, accountability is, a lot of people really need that, especially if you come from a very structured background. Like for me personally, and this is nothing against anyone out there because the accountability is awesome for most people. For me, being attached to an accountability group would be like I'd feel like I was in a straitjacket. It would be like, oh my God, I'm in school again. I have to be at a certain place at a certain time. I mean, for some reason, I do not feel that way here every Thursday. For some reason, this does not make me feel like that. But anytime I've ever been attached to something else where I had to do something at a certain, time repetitively over and over, it's just like, I don't even want to get out of bed in the morning. So, but for a lot of people, if you've come out of structure, if like if school was your thing and groups and community and all that kind of stuff, that is a really inspiring tool for you to use. And I always think that everyone should use the tools that work best for them. So for sure. And if I can help facilitate that, like if any of you guys want to form groups, I'm happy to facilitate that and put you together and, all of that kind of stuff. So just, let me know anything that you feel would be beneficial. I'm all in with. Let me share something here with you. This goes back to what Ahmed was saying to Ali, is record your stuff and I'll show you what you do with it. And I haven't done this on everything, but on my website, I created a media page. And when you go to the media page, you do a media page if you want to speak more. Like if you get invited to a summit or a podcast or something like that, and you think, hey, this is great. I generated a lot of leads with this. I want to do more. This is an easy way to get more of that. So you create a media page on your website. You put a photo, because this is something everyone's going to want. If they're going to put you on a podcast or interview you, they're going to want your photo. So I put it, you can right click and save image as. So there, I don't have to go looking for photos and email and scramble when somebody needs something. I just say, go to my media page. Everything you need is right there. I've got a short bio. I've got potential speaking topics. They love this stuff. They're like, oh my God, could you speak on this? I give them the topics, the takeaways, all the stuff they're going to want. I've got other interviews that I've done so they can see my style. I mean, I've done a ton of these things. Done them on all stages, all platforms. It just goes on and on and on. So that's something that if you want to have speaking opportunities, whether it be live on stage or on podcasts or, you know, whatever, you should create a media page. The more they see that you've done, the more they want you to do it with them. But make it easy for them. This makes it super easy, and it makes it super easy for you too, because every time somebody asks us, like Tim will say, hey, John, can you come and speak? Hey, I need a photo. I need a short bio. I'm like, great, here's a link. Take what you want. It's an all you can eat menu. So that's something that you want to do. All right, I have another really cool thing I want to share with you guys, and this is an email. This goes back to lead magnet and presentation, and it's very similar to the health one that you guys saw that we did. I'm not going to go through this whole thing, but I'm going to show you, and I'll share the link with it. So if you want to watch the video, you can watch it, because this is a damn good video for sales, and you could learn a lot from it. So the email that I got, never eat this type of fish. That's the grabber. That got me to open it because I'm a fish eater. Avoid this fish. This is a health thing. I'm like, holy shit, I should look at that. And then it says here, latest study shows there's a certain type of fish that you should avoid eating. Can you guess which one it is? And they're like listing common fish that, like, I think most of us all eat. And you're like, oh shit, which one should I not be eating? Right? And then click here. When you have your answer, click here to see if you guessed correctly. Now, I'm going to tell you that this kind of pissed me off because they don't answer the question directly. You got to watch a video and they stream out the answers over about an hour. But when you click here, it takes you to a site, and I will take the, and I can see, I didn't notice this before, but look at that. It's got their affiliate information in there. So I'm going to just copy that, and I'll send this. Let me find my chat. I'll put it in the chat for you guys if you want to watch this video. All right, so there, it's in the chat. You have to click this to actually listen.
I'm going to reveal the heart healthiest fish on the planet. I can pretty much guarantee you've either never heard of it or had any clue it was so vital to avoiding a heart attack.
So here they're connecting these fish to actual heart issues, and they're going to scare the crap out of you. I don't care if you even have ever thought about heart issues or you have any symptoms. You could have nothing, and this video would scare the crap out of you. And so I really encourage you to watch that. But you can learn a lot about watching these kind of videos. This is a really highly engineered video. This is a sales video. And like I said, I don't remember how long this thing was. I didn't even watch it till the end, but I was just like blown away, like, holy crap, this is just really good stuff.
Well, why didn't you watch it to the end? It repulsed you or scared you or what?
No, I think I just had better things to do, like eat sushi. And when I realized that wasn't the bad fish, I'm like, all right, that's all I needed to know. I'm in. But if you
Oh, they
guys,
they didn't say the fish at Papados was bad though, did they?
oh no, not at all. Not at all. I'm eating the right stuff. But they did, I did get far enough to hear about the little fish they were talking about for the fish oil. Basically, they're selling a fish oil supplement here. And it's a fish that lives on the East Coast. It's kind of a little fish, kind of like a sardine. I'd never even heard of it. A Mendenhaven or something like that. Mendenhaven fish, something. I don't
Manhattan.
Okay.
Flounder.
So it's a little oddball fish, and they're claiming that their fish oil is the only one on planet Earth that's going to give you all these health benefits. But I got to tell you, man, they are doing a really phenomenal job here of creating the demand and desire for a product that's going to deliver on the promise, or so they say. I don't know if it really works or not, but they've done a really good job of convincing you that it will and selling it. And I got to tell you, I can almost guarantee you, if any of you take what you're doing and you create a video like this, where you go through these steps of showing them how it works and why they need it and what all it's going to do for them and what's going to happen if they don't do it. I got to tell you, the guy that writes the book, I forget the name of the book. His name is Cialdini. It's something about influence.
The word, yeah, it's influence.
That's the name of the book, right? Influence.
Yeah, he's got a new one called Persuasion as well.
Yeah. So this guy, his concept is take you into what he calls the pit of hell. Like actually tell somebody what is going to happen if they don't address their problem. And he walks them into the pit of hell. And these guys are really good. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, but whoever did this is a Cialdini fan. Because this video will walk you literally into the pit of hell, and you're going to be on fire by the time you get there. And, and then he takes you out. He says, there's shines a light on the ladder to get you out of the pit of hell. And, what are you going to want to do? Stay there, stay in the pit of hell, or use the ladder that he gives you to get out. And that's it's persuasion. This is highly persuasive. So it's very powerful stuff. The more you can learn about advertising and the way that it's done and how to do it for yourself, the more successful you're going to be at whatever you do, even just in straight communication with somebody. If you've got kids, boy, you better learn some persuasion tactics or they're going to walk all over you. Because they're really good at this. You can learn a lot, from watching how kids get what they want. They're really good at this naturally. It's almost survival. But anyway, if you guys want at some point, I'm not going to do it today because we're already an hour and a half in. But if you want me to actually play this through like I did the other one and stop it and show you what they're doing each step of the way, I'm happy to do that.
Oh, yeah, baby.
And I'm going to turn it into another lead magnet if I do that.
Exactly. Next week, so we have the continuity.
Okay.
I'd love for you to break it down. That would be awesome.
All right, we'll do that. So your homework for this week is to go ahead and watch the video first, so you have an understanding, a walkthrough of it. And then when we're going through it, I want you to be looking for the pieces. Look for all the stuff that you've learned about ACT and see if you can identify it. Identify what they're doing and why. You can learn a lot from this. If you just watch stuff and don't do that, you just let it pass in one side and out the other, you're not really learning from it. I want you guys to learn this so you can replicate it. This is an incredibly powerful skill set. And these are, some of these ones I'm showing you, these are absolute masters of this.
Did you put the link in the chat, John?
Yes, I did. I put the link for the video in there.
Okay.
So before we get off, click that link or copy that or save the chat. you can save the chat before we close out, and then you'll have it on your
Right.
on your desktop. So,
How do you save the chat?
how do you
Click the
save-
3 button on the bottom of the chat window.
Yep, that is correct. So if you've got chat open, you got those 3 little buttons. Do you see that?
I see 6 buttons.
In the very bottom where you've got the little icon things, there's 3 little dots. That's the button on the right side of the bottom. It's actually the left side. It's left justified, but you've got all these little boxes, and then the last one has 3 little dots sideways. That's the more.
And
And the-
only works on desktop and laptops, not cell phones.
Oh, if you're on yeah, I think Woody's on a desktop.
Oh, I don't see it. I see mute, stop video, participants chat, share screen,
Oh,
record.
no, Woody, on the chat window.
You have to actually click
Click on
the
chat.
Yeah, click the chat, open the chat window. It'll be over on the right side.
Inside the chat window on the bottom.
Here, I know how I can.
Well.
Just below where you type.
Did you find it?
No. I'm clicking away like a bastard here.
Okay, let me see if I can do something here to show you.
Woody, when was the last time you updated Zoom? Because a lot of times they don't update automatically like some softwares do. And it took a while for me to finally figure out how to get things updated and have things showing
You're
up.
right. Great job
Okay, I'll
today,
do that.
John. Wonderful shares.
Okay, here, I got it for you, Woody. I figured out how to make a copy of the screen. Because I know usually you can't see the Zoom screen when you share. Let's see here. Okay, so I need to share the screen. Okay, can you see my screen now?
See, senor.
Okay, so when you might have to go to the more over here to see the chat. When you click on the chat, it'll open the chat up over here on the right side. And then right there is the 3 little sideways buttons. When you click on that, that will give, that's the more button, and then it'll say save chat right there.
I'll get it from Allie.
John, could you please just put in the chat the URL for this video so that we can all copy it?
Oh, great.
yeah.
I'll take a picture. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I put that in there.
I don't see it anywhere.
Yeah, I didn't see it either.
Okay, let me do it again.
It's in there just a little bit higher.
Okay, I just put it in.
Where?
So it should be the last one in the chat because I just pasted it in.
I don't see it.
And Jay just put it in as well.
Yeah, I got it.
If you're looking in the chat, just go to the bottom of the chat window. Scroll to the bottom.
Could be that I haven't scrolled to the bottom.
Yeah, you probably haven't scrolled to the bottom yet.
Thank you very much. I've got it.
Got it? Okay, perfect. All right, so now you got your homework, and we'll do that next week. I'll go through it and pause it, and we'll see how long it takes to chew through it that way. I know the last one took a while because it was only I think it was a 15-20 minute thing, and I think we were on it for 45 minutes or so because I kept interrupting.
It was really good. Great tips.
And this guy Cialdini, did he write a book or what?
Yeah, he's written a couple of books. You can look them up. The first one I think Jay said was called Influence by Cialdini. Yeah, Influence.
Childini?
I think so. I think if you start Googling it, it'll probably
All right.
lead you right there. And then he has another book called Persuasion. And all honesty, I have not read his books, but I've been to, I went to one of his seminars, and basically he lays out his whole framework, his formula that you could read in the book if you had that kind of time. I got it in 20 minutes by sitting there listening to him.
And it's known as the pit of hell.
Yeah, he literally calls it, he's going to walk them into the pit of hell.
It's near Barstow, I believe.
Yeah, right, to the left.
Like, I think the example was, like, if you don't do this thing, like, I think he was talking about somebody in a day job. If you don't do this thing and come out as an entrepreneur where you take control of your own destiny, at some point, you're going to lose your job. You're going to get fired, and you're going to go home and you're going to tell your wife about this, and then your income's going to be destroyed. You're going to get divorced. Your kids are going to hate you. You're going to be homeless, living under a bridge. I mean, you're like, wow, who knew?
And then you'll die.
Yeah, you will die alone, wet, cold, under that bridge, stinking, because
some trade school gurus do the same thing, telling us the end of the world, the economy, the dollar will not be worth anything, and on and on and on.
Yeah, it really is. It's end of the world stuff. It's the pit of hell.
Barstow is the pit of Barstow is the pit of hell. I went to a wedding and spent a month in Barstow one weekend.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, I have a story about Barstow myself. I lost a transmission coming down the 15, and I got stuck in Barstow for a couple of days. And I go into the hotel, and little did I know, right outside my window was a railroad track. And if you guys have ever seen the movie My Cousin Vinny, where he can't sleep because every little thing is getting to him, I swear I laid my head on the pillow and I had a glass of water sitting on the nightstand, and the whole room starts shaking, and I'm thinking, oh shit, this is an earthquake, and the water is sloshing out of the glass, and this train rolled like right past my headboard. I about spoiled myself.
That's every hotel in Barstow, John. It's not unique.
All right. Well, I thought I just got lucky.
And if those trains didn't go there at that much, Vegas would starve.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I didn't see one damn train all day long. It didn't start until about 11 o'clock at night, and it went all night. I finally got up, went down to the desk, and I'm like, dude, how long are these trains going to run? And he says, oh, they don't run very long. That thing ran till like 8 in the morning, and then they stopped. Like, really? A little scheduling problem there.
Cargo at night, passengers during the day. Nobody goes to Barstow, so there's nothing during the day.
Yeah, there's no passenger trains at Vegas for a decade.
I'm afraid
Bright
that's
Line's
just the way it
coming there
works.
in about another couple of years. The Bright line is supposed to get going again.
So I am in agreement with you guys about Barstow. I'm sure Cialdini talks about that somewhere. But that's his tactic. There's a lot of different people that do marketing in different ways, and he has a very unique framework. Eric Laughlin has a very unique framework for sales. Frank Kern has a very unique framework. That's like a lot of these guys, they have very unique frameworks, but if you look at them and you really break them down, they all come out the same thing. They all grab attention. They all create demand and desire. No matter how they do it, they might take you into the pit of hell to do it, or they might, pump you up and blow sunshine up your skirt. But regardless, they take you on a journey where you basically realize that they are the best solution for you. And then they make you an offer, and then they deliver, and it's all the same stuff. And you know, we're all unique. We're all unique individuals. We all have our different tactics. If I did the Cialdini pit of hell thing, I would be outside my skin. I would not feel right doing that. It's not my personality. And I don't think the people that are attracted to me and follow me, I don't think they would be near as attracted to me and follow me like they do, because I am who I am. And I don't try and hide that. You know, this is just me. That's all you get. So
You're our
It's
Yoda,
called-
John. You're our Yoda. We love you. Hey, you know what? You should do a thing of the 4 different styles of this, you know, these guys, Kern, Lawler, you know, and then juxtapose them.
yeah. But they're all really doing the same thing. You can learn from watching them, but really you're going to learn the same thing. And then the whole thing is to put it into your style, put it into your voice, because you don't want to copy them. You might copy their framework, but it really needs to come through your voice. Like I follow a lot of their frameworks. Like Frank Kern developed a framework for a sales presentation that he called the magic model. And I absolutely love that framework. That framework works really well in my voice. So, you know, and basically the way the framework works is he opens up with what he calls the BAP. He says, you got to start off with the BAP. And most people don't know what that is. So he defines it. That's the big ass problem. BAP. So he says, if you don't start off with the BAP, then you're not following the framework. Now, as soon as you've revealed the BAP, then his next step is, okay, now the big problem's out on the table. Now you have to make it even worse. So he does what he calls twist the knife. Knife's already in. Now you need to twist it a little bit and let them really feel it. That is similar to Cialdini's pit of hell, but it's not the pit of hell. It's just twisting the knife. So like for instance, he'll come out, he'll throw a statement out on the table. Like 80% of chiropractors are going to be out of business by the end of the year. And you're like, holy shit. And then he immediately attaches that to third-party verification. So it's not just him saying it, it's a fact. That is the claim proof benefit model. So, but he's not throwing the benefit on the end. He's throwing the twist of the knife on the end. So now that you know, hey, this isn't just him saying this, holy shit, 80% of us are going to go out of business. And then, you know, you're looking around the room like, okay, which 8 of you are going? Because I'm not. And after he does the twist the knife, you know, that's just another thing on top. And he might say, like, for instance, I don't remember what his twist of the knife was for that, but it was something like, most of them won't recognize it till it's too late. And it's like, oh shit, you know, that's a twist of the knife kind of thing. As if the first thing wasn't bad enough. Now you're not going to see it coming till it's too late. Oh shit. So, and then after the twist of the knife, then he'll go into shining a spotlight on the road ahead. And he'll say, but the other ones that don't go out of business are going to get very wealthy. You know, the life is going to be great for them because this is going to eliminate 80% of their competition. So they're going to be positioned really well for a massive growth spurt in their businesses. And now all of a sudden you're going, well, shit, I want to be on that side of the fence. I do not want to be on the other side of the fence. How do I get there? And then he goes into telling you how. He's like, here's what you have to do. And he walks you through and he takes you up the mountains. Here's all the hurdles you're going to have to go over. Here's all the pitfalls. And then when you're at the top of the mountain, you're looking back down and going, holy shit, that was a lot of climb. And then he offers to help you climb the mountain. He offers a program, whatever it is, to help you
Helicopter.
do it. Yeah, here's a helicopter if you don't want to climb that. So in a lot of cases, he's offering a course. You know, I'll walk you through it step by step. I'm here every step of the way. You know, it's very similar to ACT. That's why that model works very well for me, because here I am every step of the way to help you climb the mountain. And then what he does as an upsell from there is he does it done for you. It's like, by the way, if you want my team to just do this for you and you can just go take a nap, let's talk about that. And, you know, and his done for you is very, very expensive. Like you're going to go from maybe a couple $1,000 done with you to a $50,000 done for you. And what he's doing there, he's separating the herd, because he knows if he can get somebody to pay 50 grand for his done for you, he's going to be able to get them into private consulting, and he's going to move them up to 100 grand. And he's just going to keep on going on that wheel till there's nothing left. And that's the piece that doesn't really resonate with me. I'm not here to shear the flock. I'm not here to figure out how much money I can get out of any one person. That's just not me. It never has been. And the only way that I was like that was in the corporate world, where they don't care about you, so I don't care about them. And yeah, I'll shear that flock all day long. But it's not really a pleasant place to live. So that's why I'm not there. I've still got a few of those clients, the ones that I really like and, you know, keep around, but I don't go after that kind of business anymore. So lots of different ways to skin the cat.
Are you familiar with the sales letter that Porter Stansberry puts out?
In a generic sense, yes.
There's a specific one that I take apart in my advanced persuasion class. It's called The End of America.
Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've seen that one.
Goes right along with what you're saying. I'm talking about Pit of Hell. It's a 40-page sales letter, long form sales letter, to sell a $49 a year newsletter subscription. And it's literally sold millions and millions. And I don't remember exactly how many millions of dollars, but countless. I mean, a lot of money it's been responsible for.
That's not from Agora, is it? Is
It may
the publisher?
It may be. Porter Stansberry's I think the company, but it could be Agora.
I think Porter is the author. I'm not positive, but I think Agora might be the publisher.
I think you're right. You might be right.
Yeah, because Agora, I've gone over the Agora model, like how they get their copywriters, how their whole business model works. Yeah. It is a vicious cutthroat.
Yeah. Well, this newsletter is, I mean, this presentation is brutal. I mean, it's like every time I've taken it apart in a class, every single time I ask at the end, I said, oh, by the way, is anybody interested in ordering the newsletter? We've just taken it apart and have told them every single thing that they're doing from a psychological standpoint. Every hand in the class goes straight up.
Yeah. It's very effective. It's incredibly effective.
Even if you know it's coming, it's crazy effective.
Yeah. Marketers, there's a lot of marketers that's where they learn this stuff. And then what they do, they're too lazy to write a 40-page thing. So they pump it into a 45-minute sales video.
That makes sense.
And they don't have to write anything. They just open up Zoom and away they go. They outline it, create a PowerPoint, throw some pretty pictures in and talk their way through it.
Yeah, now you can have AI do all that part.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the really cool part.
Not presentation advice.
Not financial advice.
Right. No, it's financial advice. It's not presentation advice.
But yeah, so it's
cool.
All right. Well, we covered a lot of really good ground here in a I think in a nice format that takes you from beginning to end. We didn't get into traffic yet because I think a lot of you aren't there. A lot of you are still in the creation mode, or even some in the analysis mode still. If you're in analysis still, I would recommend that you kind of step out of that, take what you've learned at that point, know what you know and just start moving forward. You need to create something to generate leads. So we'd hit some examples here today. So watch your homework and we'll get on here next week and we'll tear that thing apart.
The homework
stuff. Thanks, John.
medical one, right?
Yeah, the medical one. And if you're going to go into the pit of hell, I can assure you. All right. Anything else before?
Can't wait. All my friends are there.
Yeah, you'll be in good company.
It's all nice and warm. It's fine. This is fine.
Oh, geez. All
It'll
right.
be more than warm.
Before we wrap up here.
You know, I do have a request, and you guys talked about it earlier, but I would love everyone's emails in this group, you know, to stay in touch and share with each other and, you know, maybe share breakthroughs and breakdowns, you know, all that kind of stuff that happens in community. And if we had some kind of open, I don't know. But you know, you know, it's hard to communicate with you fuckers.
Remind me next week when we've lost a lot of people on the call today, but remind me of that next week when we start the call, and I'll have people, if anybody that wants to have their email out, they can put it in the chat, and then you can save the chat.
Or maybe open a Facebook group.
And chat them.
Nice idea. Well, have a great week, everyone. I love you, Big John.
All right. You too, Woody.
Thanks,
You're
John.
awesome.
See you guys. Thanks, everybody.
Well.
Thanks, John.
Thanks, John.
All right. We will talk to you guys next week.
Have a great week.
Hasta la vista,
Bye-bye.
baby.